Welcome to Mark on Call, your virtual interior designer and space planner for the iPhone and iPod Touch. My name is John Haigh, and I am one of the creators of Mark on Call, and I'm going to take you through a demonstration of John Makes a Room. So let's get started. Here we're on the main menu. Now first we have the My Floor Plans and Rooms and My Shopping Lists. These are the action portions of the app. I recommend actually that you start at the Getting Started information guide. There you'll be able to find out how to change your preferred measurement system or units of measurement, and also your local currency if you need to change it for some reason. It will be found there. Also, there are some specifics such as the app automatically saves the last thing that you did, which is very handy since the iPod Touch and iPhone are used for multiple purposes. Telephone calls interrupted, everything can kind of happen, so that's a very useful feature. We also have the space programming checklist. It's a series of questions to make sure you've considered all of the room's intended uses. We also have building steps, a suggested order of design. Obviously, you're free to creatively go in whatever direction you'd like. We also have the room checkout. The app itself is based on the book, What Would You Do with This Room? My 10 Foolproof Commandments to Great Interior Design by Mark Lewison. And so these are a series of questions to make sure that you've incorporated the commandments into your design. So it's a very handy checklist there. We also have a demo video, of which this will now be a part of. You can join the Dear Mark blog. Mark does posts on interior design. You can also send him a question or a design challenge, and he would be glad to help you. We also have Get the Book on Amazon. You can email us if you have a question, a concern, or a suggestion. We would love to hear from you, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Also, tell my friends. Why just tell one friend? So let's get started building our room. So we're going to start with creating a new floor plan. We're going to tap the name, John's Floor Plan, tap Save. You can also make notes there, tap Save again. Now you can always go back to that details screen there by tapping that white right arrow and blue circle. That's a separate button, the disclosure button. So keep that in mind because it's easy. It's like the hidden button in the app. Also, every screen has a question mark, and that gives you instructions on how to operate that specific screen or the neighboring screen. Now we're on the room screen, so let's create a new room. So living room, okay. Now the initial dimensions of the room are set at 10 by 12 feet when you're in the imperial or English measurement system. You can also modify your flooring here. There are presets, colors, fabrics, finishes. You can use the color wheel. You can also use your iPhone camera to take a picture, which is very handy if you're in the home store and you see a fabric or finish and you want to see how it works in your space. You can immediately render that onto any room item or flooring in your room. You can also upload even if you have an iPod Touch, you can upload hundreds of images and go crazy and customize your room. So it's extremely handy. So we'll save that. So remember again that disclosure button, you can go back to the details screen. Now here's our room. Now we're going to go to the room editor. Here you can change the shape of your room and you can customize it further. You can really go crazy here if you need to. Get really funky shaped rooms, which can happen. Also, in our next update, we will be having angled walls. It's been a requested a feature, and we will be doing that, so that will come in the next update, or the next, bigger update. So let's go back to a more basic room, as I am not the designer. I'm going to leave that to Mark, but this is just to give you an idea. Okay, that looks good. Okay. Also, now the plus sign is to add an item to your room. We have the categories living room, bedroom, architectural, my items, so you can custom name, custom color, and custom size a room item and store it here for use in all your floor plans. So it's extremely handy. We also have the dining room category, bathroom, kitchen, appliances, generics, and all. So let's start with a simple door. Now this is the pop-up menu. Now as you can see, you can move, rotate, you can measure, pan and zoom, you can turn the grid on or off, you can lock an item, which is handy for architectural items that don't move a lot. You can go bigger, it immediately makes your item 20% bigger. And you can also add eyeliner, which is one of Mark's 10 commandments. So now I'm in pan and zoom mode, so I'm going to switch to the move mode. Move my piece up there. Now let's add another one. And there we go. Let's lock those pieces since we're probably not going to move them again. I'm also going to add, let's add a window. If you double tap a room item, it'll take you to its details screen. There you can modify the size. And also you can add things to your shopping list. So you can add your price, vendor, notes. You can also add a floor model image, and that will also go to your shopping list. Once you tap include in shopping list and the check mark is there. Otherwise it will not show up in your shopping list. And here's the save to my items feature. So happy with that. Let's move that. I'm going to go into rotate. This is much easier actually on just using your fingers than it is this, but there we go. Okay. We're going to lock, why not? Let's lock this as well. Another architectural piece. So let's add a sofa. We'll add some color there. We'll also, why not, we're going to throw, let's call this a very expensive sofa. So I don't know, Sofa Fun is the vendor. We won't put any notes. Put include in shopping list just so I can show you that later. Let's add a lounge chair. And actually, let's move that a little bit over. Okay, now we're going to add a coffee table. And we'll throw in a doggy bed. Yay. Okay. So, also, just to let you know, the measure tool, tap one position, and then you tap another, and it'll let you measure. To scale precisely. You can get pretty precise with the crosshairs measure tool, so that's always a nice feature. Let's add some color, again on a basic level here, just to give you an idea. Let's make this, let's do the coffee table too. I don't know, let's just say it's $500. Okay. We'll call the vendor tables RS. Okay. And we're going to include that in shopping list. Okay, so now we have some coloring there. Again, very basic. Let's go back up there. Let's go to this closure button because we're going to add flooring. Tap flooring, tap slate. That's always nice. I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to my room. I'm going to turn off the room grid because I don't need it anymore. And voila, you have a room. There you go. Very basic. Now you can go to my shopping lists, tap on shopping lists, and now you have your items, which room they're in, the name, and the summary. Also, if you added any notes, they would show up here as well. And also any floor model images, if you took a floor model image picture or uploaded it and saved it there, you can email it to yourself and others, clients, very handy, or someone you're working with. So that is the demonstration of Mark on Call. So have a great day, and thank you so much.